where we're going to get a look at another Lisbon wrestler, Royce Alger, against Lake Park's Jeff Hively. This ought to be a good one. Neither one of these people have lost either. And Royce Alger is going for his third state championship. He's the first of two you'll see tonight who will be in that position. Later on, Mark Sindlinger will come up at super heavyweight for Charles City. Alger in the dark uniform, Hively in the yellow.
Alger wants upper body. He'll want to be in the upper body position.
You see him under the arms already, looking for a trip.
He likes to get upper body. You need a foot sweep right there. So there aren't many guys that get in this position unless they do a lot of freestyling.
Now there's a freestyle tip too. He took Hively right over to his back for two.
That's right. Open it up in a hurry.
What do you think as a former college coach? This Alger is a prospect, right?
It's a big-time prospect, yes, no question.
Sometimes people say, well, he's won 3 titles, but maybe he's 1A, hasn't wrestled the competition. Not so here.
Well, he's wrestled everybody.
Let's take a look first up here at 2A. There's Daryl Yates against Chuck Martens. Yates of Glenwood against Martens of Cresce. And Roseland against Fleckenstein in the AAA. Marshalltown against Cedar Rapids, Washington. You see Alger really put it to Hively already, 8-1.
He's one of those athletes that, as I indicated, he's wrestled so many good wrestlers in the freestyle movement, it doesn't make any difference what class they're in. I mean, he's used to wrestling everybody, regardless of what class they are, because he gets into that kind of competition. He does some things that kids don't usually see. He likes to get under the arms, and then he likes an inside trip
in the center, gentlemen,
or a foot sweep. Now, most kids don't see that.
Try to swing in, young man. Both of them.
It's kind of overwhelming Jeff right now.
Ready, gentlemen?
So Jeff is going to try to get his head together here. Came out of Northwest Iowa. He's undefeated, 32-0. But he just about got thrown again.
He's in the body lock, but this is more Alger's position than his, I'm sure. So it's one of those ones where he's a little hesitant. He might have had something had he gone ahead and gone with it.
You can see it. He was also hesitant to go with that high crotch.
Well, he got in there, but he didn't carry it on through. It's like, you know, I can't believe that it's there, so I back off right when it's there, and he had with a nice deep penetration on it.
8-2 is the score. Alger against Jeff Hively. Hively is in the yellow. He's back to the camera. Single A division, 167. And again, Alger's under the arms. You see Hively keeping his hips back.
See, that's the end of that first period.
Well, there's the end of the period. We're going to have more exciting wrestling up on Iowa Public Television. It's a USA against the USSR between members of the U.S. World Cup team and the Russian World team, and that's going to be on live on March 30th. We'll be taping it then for broadcast on March 31st, Thursday, 10:30 p.m. Next day coverage, and we'll probably have a strong Iowa flavor with a lot of Iowa standouts who participated in the World Cup trials earlier in March. And that's on Iowa Public Television on the 31st of next month, 31st of March at 10:30 p.m. on Thursday.
You know, here he's back into what he likes. See, he took that inside trip. In under both arms, then an inside trip to get the leg. Now he's trying to use that as leverage against the man. No takedown until he gets him to the mat with control.
First he brings him out to the center, gets him in position, good lift, and puts him right through that.
Real nice hips on that. And the lift, you can't just pick a guy up. What you've got to do is get your hips in underneath, and that's why it came so easy for him. Now, Alger's a real tough-minded kind of boy. I know I've watched him in a lot of these freestyles, and even though Hively was the third-rated wrestler at the end of the season in this weight class, I think that he's sort of taken a back seat because he's read the press clippings and knows what kind of guy he's wrestling against, instead of going out and opening it up and just doing what he can normally do.
Gentlemen, in the center, please.
12-3 is the score now.
You see Alger's shoulders taped there. I don't know if he heard that sometime during this tournament. It hadn't been taped earlier. Here, watch the hips. See how he gets the hips in right there and dumps him right toward his back on that.
35 seconds to go in the second period. Alger of Lisbon on top in the score and in the position.
And even though he's in under the arms, he's up on his feet, so he's not isolated on his knees. That's one of the reasons why you can let a guy have a hold of something. He stays on his feet, and that makes him more agile, more mobile.
Let's go on top. Let's go on top.
Yeah, being on his feet right there let him step across. And as a result, it wasn't effective. Had he been on his knees, he might very well have been rolled through into his back.
We're at the end of the period now.
Time, gentlemen.
4 minutes are gone. We have 2 more to go. The third period's coming up. It's Alger 12 and Hively 3. There's Brad Smith.
Brad's done a great job with this team.
Sit still, please.
People would have thought that after Baxter left there a couple of years ago, it might go down, but Brad's done a great job. Brought them right to the top where they're accustomed to being there.
They start him young there, too. The way they have to. Alger has the whizzer in, comes around front. He wants to throw right from here.
Well, the guy's got him locked tight, but if he comes off, he might try to get the headlock.
That one didn't work, and it's Hively's move.
There.
No points.
Hively has a little bit of height on him. You can see he's about 5-6 inches taller. That leverage really took that away from Alger being able to use that move.
Ready in there. Come on top, Red.
Hively comes on top, and away they go with 1:40 to go in the period.
Well, even with a 12-3 lead, this isn't where Alger wants to spend much time. You know, this is not a real favorable spot down on your belly, so he wants to get back up to his base, and then he'll want to try to get to his feet. He's got it. First of all, he's doing a wise thing here by saving the arm. Hively's really after that arm with a head lever. If you give it to him, you're really in trouble. Now that he's got the arm free, see, now he can get to his feet. So Hively's got to do what he's got right here because he's behind by that 8-9 points. So he's trying to put on a 3/4 Nelson, trying to put on some type of move that might put him to his back.
Oh, that knee's a little tough there. Martens is leading in the Double-A division, 2-0. Martens of Cresce over Yates, Glenwood.
Okay, here we go.
Well, if the score were different, you'd say, boy, it's a tough ride no matter how you look at it.
Okay,
But
Red on top.
Hively needs more than a tough ride at this moment. He's trailing by 9.
That's right. Now there's a real quick stand-up. Did a nice quick one, got out of there and got out of that ride.
13-3 is the score now. Alger leading.
All right, and I see over here in the 3A that Roseland from Marshalltown is leading 6-1 now.
Over Fleckenstein of Cedar Rapids.
There's a nice shot, real nice shot. Caught him, just snapped him by.
15-4. Has the escape been given? No, it hasn't been because Alger is staying with it. 15-3 is the score.
Now he'll want to get up and get out of that position. You know, he doesn't want to stay down below him unless he have both of them. There he got to both of them. That gave it to him. So with the man's hips down, he can start to move toward his head.
15-3, and he's trying to put Hively over on his back for some more points here, but we have 5 seconds left to go, and Royce Alger has just become a 3-time state champion in the state of Iowa with a 15-3 victory over previously undefeated Jeff Hively of Harris Lake Park.
Thank you.
Royce Alger.
Nice match, gentlemen. Nice match.
That's the second individual champion for Lisbon. A team which is already locked up the 1A championship. There's a happy Brad Smith with Royce Alger. Now let's look at 2A, which is still going on. Darrell Yates of Glenwood and Chuck Martens of Cresce. The score is 4-0 now in favor of Martens. And Martens is the man on, I believe, on the bottom.
I think that score just changed 4-2.
4-2. Okay, that's why
he scored an escape and then the man took him down.
4-2 in favor of Martens. But it is true that Yates, who trails, is in the advantage position here with 42 seconds left to go.
Well, Chuck Martens is a state champion from last year. Started off the year a little bit slow, but he's come on strong, and here he is back in the finals again. That's another name that most people in wrestling are familiar with, Cresce. He's going for his second championship now. got to his feet, but he didn't quite have, his leg free. There he just kind of threw him off.
That one didn't work out well for Yates, and it cost, I believe, 3 points. Yes, 3 points.
Well, one of the reasons that was given right there is because when Martens went out of bounds, Yates' knees were in bounds. Then when Martens came back in bounds, Yates went out of bounds. So as long as the supporting parts of one man are in bounds, wrestling can continue.
Cresce man leads now 7-2.
Yes, and there's only about 25 seconds to go. So if he stays tough with this thing, he should be in pretty good shape. Nice escape to come right back in. That's what he's got to do in order to be able to win it.
7-3. 10 seconds to go. He had to do that.
Yes, he had to shoot at him. Martens just run right in behind him, score the takedown.
9-3. Or, as looks to me now, 8-2.
Well, they got the clock a little bit confused, so now it goes 10-2, and I believe it should be 10-3.
Yes, I think so too. But we do know that the winner was Chuck Martens of Crestwood High School over Darrell Yates of Glenwood to win the AA championship. Now let's have the awards at single A at 155.
In the 167-pound division in 3A competition, Jason Roseland was like a real machine tonight as he started off with a takedown in the first period, and he didn't let up until he had defeated Matt Fleckenstein of Cedar Rapids, Washington by the margin of 6-3. Roseland, shown here, gave up 2 penalty points on stalling in the last period, but by that time he had the mat safely tucked away. So tonight, your victor at 167 3A, Jason Roseland of Marshalltown.
There are the mats.
And the perspiration is still dripping from the face of Chuck Martens of Crestwood of Cresco. He has just won the 167-pound AA championship. He'll be getting his gold medal in just a few minutes, defeating Darrell Yates of Glenwood. What was the strategy coming into this match, Chuck?
Well, I knew he was tall. I was going to have to stay away. He shoots low. And I thought if I could force him to shoot low on his takedowns, I could spin around him and just beat him from the feet, which mostly I did.
Now, you've had 2 defeats already this year. That doesn't matter because you came up with the state championship anyway. Who did you lose to?
Oh, I lost to Dan Costigan from Turkey Valley. They were in our districts, but he went up to 85 because he didn't want to wrestle me. Then I lost in a tournament to Tim Stanley from Grundy Center, and then I beat him last night in the semifinals.
So, do I hear that you in the districts took second?
No, I took first. But the boy that beat me earlier this year didn't want to wrestle me again, so he went up to 85 for districts.
I see. I understand. Where are you going next year? What are you going to do?
I have no idea yet. I'm still debating what I want to do.
Well, just revel in this gold medal right now. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Chuck Martens of Crestwood of Cresco. Doug, another fellow who won gold. In fact, a 3rd gold for you, isn't that, Royce? Royce Alger of Lisbon. 3rd gold medal.
Yeah.
Has it always been at 167?
No, I went down here my freshman year, and I got beat by the state champion in overtime at 112. Then I went on my sophomore year, excuse me, at 126 and won it.
Sure. And you go ahead and cough, and I'll ask you another question, and that is, how do you psych yourself up for a match? How do you psych yourself up?
Well, I just think that my opponent couldn't have worked as hard as I've had for this because I really wanted it, and I just feel that, it's rightfully mine.
Well, what I was really getting at is after 3 state championships, in fact 2 and then a 3rd tonight, isn't it awfully easy to get a little complacent?
Yeah. I just feel that, as hard as we got tradition at our school, and I feel, and a lot of younger kids look up to the older wrestlers. I just feel, like it's my duty just to carry on the tradition.
They never get any easier, do they, Royce? Royce Alger, 3-time state champion from Lisbon, Iowa. And 185 is next.
6th place, Dan Poppinga, Manson. 5th place, Kendall Roberts, Corning. 4th place, Travis Blair, Durant. 3rd place, Troy Schneerstein, Tripola. 2nd place, Jeff Hively, Lake Park. And the 167 1A champion from Lisbon, Royce Alger.
Knew it all the time, didn't he? 3 times he's been on that top rung. Royce Alger of Lisbon. He joins a select crew. Haven't counted them lately, but it's not very many of three-time champions, as you can imagine. Up come the AA winners, the top 6 places.
Presenting the Class 2A
167.
awards, Coach Jerome Haruska of Cresco. 6th place, Todd Mappy, Algona. 5th place, Mark Modlin, Norwalk. 4th place, Tony Hillpiper, Eagle Grove. 3rd place, Tim Stanley, Grundy Center. 2nd place, Darrell Yates, Glenwood. And the 2A 167-pound champion from Cresco, Chuck Martens.
Chuck Martens. We were counting up the 3-time winners. There are now 29. And that makes 30, as a matter of fact. As Royce Alger goes up there, and there have been 5 4-time champions. This is the first time, the last 4 years, we've had a 4-time champion each year. Hasn't that? It's an unusual situation.
That's right. We've got a couple freshmen that have won it now.
Class 3A award,
So they're on their way to try to be a 4-timers themselves.
6th
Now the
place,
AAA.
Fred Stratton, Muscatine. 5th place, Nate Story, Council Bluffs AL. 4th place, Jerry Wilkerson, Charles City. 3rd place, Mike Llewellyn, Cedar Falls. 2nd place, Matt Fleckenstein, Cedar Rapids, Washington. And the 3A 167-pound champion from Marshalltown, Jason Roseland.
Jason Roseland of Marshalltown. Here's a floor report